The animated version of A Record of a Mortal's Journey to Immortality has currently reached episode 176 and is temporarily on hiatus. Judging from the cultivation levels, the highest level cultivator currently appearing is the peak of the mid-nascent soul stage. Han Li has only just entered the early nascent soul stage, and there aren't many nascent soul cultivators appearing yet. So the question arises, who exactly are the nascent soul cultivators in the A Record of a Mortal's Journey to Immortality anime? And how should their strength be ranked? 6th tier, Cheng Chuanquan, Lu Luo, Qian Wuzi, Elder Jiao Chen, cultivators surnamed Bing, cultivators surnamed Ju, Madam Wen, and Master Miaohe, 8 people in total. This tier represents standard early nascent soul cultivators, the most basic initial nascent soul combat power. The transition from core formation to nascent soul is a huge hurdle. Even the weakest nascent soul cultivator is far superior to a core formation cultivator. Those who can reach this realm are all geniuses, each possessing unique supernatural abilities. Cheng Chuanquan and Lu Luo are both elders of the Luoyun sect at the initial stage of the Yuan dynasty realm, but their attack power is relatively weak, which has long kept the Luoyun sect at the bottom of the 3 sects of Yumeng Mountain. However, both are nascent soul cultivators, more than capable of supporting the sect. Qian Wuzi and Elder Jiao Chen appeared in the Void Heaven Palace instance. The Bing and Yu surnamed cultivators appeared in the Tsanquan instance. These four performed mediocrely in their respective instances, with the Yu surnamed cultivator even becoming Han Li's first kill target during his nascent soul stage. Miaohe is often jokingly called the weakest nascent soul cultivator, but his actual combat strength is not the weakest. He once suppressed Han Li, who was at the core formation stage, and could hold his own against Feng Shi, even briefly repelling him. Compared to Lu Luo and others, he is not inferior. The so-called weakest nascent soul cultivator is more of a joke in reality. Miaohe is a normal level initial stage cultivator. Madam Wen is the deist partner of Liu Dao Ji Sheng, the number 1 demonic cultivator in the chaotic Star Sea, at the initial stage of the Yuan dynasty realm. Wan Qianming and the others were wary of her primarily because of the existence of the 6-path Supreme Saint. Her own combat strength was still at the level of an ordinary primordial cultivator. Tier 5, Qingyi Jusha, Jin Ancestor, Mu Tengzi, Madam Tai, Elder Jinxia, Tianjing Shangren, Turtle Demon, 7 people in total. This tier comprises the best among early-stage nascent soul cultivators, significantly stronger than ordinary early-stage cultivators. Qingyi Jusha, Jin Ancestor, and Mu Tengzi are all early-stage cultivators from the chaotic Star Sea and participated in the Void Heaven Palace instance. Each possesses magical treasures and supernatural abilities, and their performances are commendable. Qingyi, in particular, has shown significant improvement compared to the original story, becoming the strongest of the 3. Wang Tenggu and Madam Tai come from Tiannan and participated in the Tsanquan instance. Their shared advantage is their powerful divine sense. Wang Tenggu is second only to Han Li in the instance, making him a top-tier early-stage cultivator. Madam Tai possesses a powerful magical treasure, though damaged during the formation-breaking process. Its peak attack should not be underestimated. Elder Jinxia once fought the poisonous flood dragon, demonstrating impressive skill with her Lightwheel divine power, showcasing considerable strength. Master Tianjing is a rogue cultivator from the 9 Kingdoms Alliance, at the peak of the early nascent soul stage. He is skilled in puppetry, illusion, and formations, adept at using puppets to assist in combat. Later, in the Fallen Demon Valley dungeon, he was even able to carry 2 puppets with combat power comparable to ordinary nascent soul cultivators, far exceeding the strength of ordinary early nascent soul cultivators. The Turtle Demon is an 8th level demon beast, corresponding to the early nascent soul stage. Although its combat power is inferior to the poisonous flood dragon of the same level, its physical defense is extremely strong, making it impossible for ordinary early nascent soul cultivators to harm it. Tier 4, Master Mu, Fire Dragon Child, Poisonous Flood Dragon, 3 people in total. This tier still consists of early nascent soul cultivators, but their combat power clearly surpasses that of their peers. Master Mu comes from the Mulan grassland, at the peak of the early nascent soul stage. He wields the ancient treasure Thousand Peaks and is skilled in ice-type spiritual arts. He was the first nascent soul opponent Han Li faced head-on after entering the nascent soul stage. Their methods are diverse, and the power of their Thousand Peaks and spiritual techniques is quite astonishing. The Fire Dragon Child is a primordial sword cultivator from the ancient sword sect. He has killed nascent soul cultivators of the same level, which is enough to place him among the strong primordial cultivators. Sword cultivators who transform their swords into threads are inherently powerful, and although his performance in the anime wasn't particularly dazzling, his raw strength remains solid. The poisonous flood dragon is an 8th level demonic beast, equivalent to the early nascent soul stage, but its combat power far surpasses that of ordinary primordial cultivators. In the original novel, it is even comparable to the mid-nascent soul stage. Although not explicitly stated in the anime, its level is roughly equivalent. 3rd tier, Wan Qianming, Linghu Laozu, Yun Daoyu, and Shixiao 4 people in total. This tier represents mid-nascent soul level combat power, primarily composed of mid-nascent soul cultivators. Wan Qianming is a mid-nascent soul cultivator from the Righteous Path in the Chaotic Star Sea, and the number 1 Righteous cultivator in the Void Heaven Palace instance. Although not as dazzling as Barbarian Beard, he quickly repelled Ji Yin and Qing Yi, and his strength is firmly in the upper echelon of the mid-nascent soul level. Linghu Laoge is the only mid-nascent soul stage ancestor in Huangfeng Valley. He is cunning, but his cultivation to the mid-nascent soul stage indicates his formidable strength. He possesses several ancient treasures, and combined with his performance in the Fallen Demon Valley in the original novel, his combat power should not be underestimated. The cultivator surnamed Jun is an old friend of Nanlong Hu, and a mid-nascent soul stage cultivator who betrayed Nanlong Hu in the Tsankuan instance. Although he hasn't fought much, his mid-nascent soul stage cultivation is undeniable, far surpassing the early nascent soul stages like Wang Tringu. The corpse demon has been significantly strengthened in the anime. Judging from his performance against Han Li, his combat power is comparable to that of Feng Shi when fighting Han Li, indicating he possesses mid-nascent soul stage strength. Tier 2, Han Li, Barbarian Beard, Feng Shi, Nanlong Hu, and Yunlu Laomor 5 people in total. Except for Han Li, all others in this tier are mid-nascent soul stage cultivators. Han Li is currently only at the early nascent soul stage, but possesses numerous trump cards such as the Wind and Thunder Wings, the Azure Ice Flame, and the Evil Repelling Divine Thunder. He has already defeated Master Mu and killed the cultivator surnamed Yu. His true combat strength is firmly at the mid-nascent soul stage, far surpassing that of ordinary mid-nascent soul cultivators. Barbarian Beard is at the peak of the mid-nascent soul stage and is the number 1 righteous and demonic cultivator in the Void Heaven Palace dungeon. He overwhelmingly defeated numerous nascent soul cultivators, ultimately obtaining the Heaven Mending Pill, making him one of the biggest winners of the dungeon. Feng Shi is a level 9 demonic beast, corresponding to the mid-nascent soul stage. Since his appearance, he has been active, slaying the severely injured Lei Peng, suppressing the core formation Han Li, and defeating Miao He. His combat strength is firmly among the strong mid-nascent soul cultivators. Marquis Nanlong is a peak mid-nascent soul cultivator from Qiannan and the initiator of the Tsankuan dungeon. Although he was severely injured by a sneak attack from a cultivator surnamed Yun, he possesses numerous ancient treasures, once fighting for opponents alone, and has mastered the 10,000 feet one-line escape technique, demonstrating commendable performance. Old Demon Yunlu is a peak mid-nascent soul cultivator from the Hehuan sect. When the demonic forces invaded Huangfeng Valley, Li Huiyuan fought desperately to repel Yunlu's attack, a scene absent from the original novel, which somewhat diminishes Yunlu's image. However, considering the border battle in the original work, Yunlu is actually a top-ranked Yuan-level cultivator in Tiannan, and her strength should be above that of Nanlong Hu. Tier 1, Jin Kuei 1 person. Jin Kuei is the Grand Elder of the Star Palace, at the peak of the mid-stage Yuan level. This is an anime original character. He doesn't exist in the original novel. Although he hasn't directly fought against Manhuzi or Wan Qianming, he easily defeated Ji Yin, and the narration hints that he has reached the peak of the mid-stage Yuan level, suggesting his strength is above Manhuzi. Of the cultivators currently appearing, Jin Kuei is undoubtedly the strongest. Han Li later mastered half of the Great Gong Sword formation before killing the 4th elder of the Yin Luo sect, a peak mid-stage Yuan-level cultivator, further highlighting Jin Kuei's significance. The above lists a total of 28 Yuan-level cultivators, ranked primarily based on their anime portrayal. This is only a personal opinion. What are your thoughts?